As Gazans mourn victims of Israel's latest offensive and dozens of Israeli hostages remain in Hamas captivity, Canada is officially recognizing the state of Palestine and ramping up pressure for a two-state solution. Prime Minister Mark Carney says this move empowers those who seek peaceful coexistence and the end of Hamas. And it's needed now because the Israeli government is working methodically to prevent the prospect of a Palestinian state.
We have to establish a culture of peace, a culture of dignity, and a culture of recognition. And that's exactly what we're trying to do.
Canada's ambassador to the United Nations again laid out conditions that Palestine should be democratic and demilitarized, led not by Hamas, but a reformed Palestinian Authority.
It's critical for not only for Israel's security, but for the security of Palestinians.
Canada is working in tandem with Australia, Portugal, and the UK.
We are acting to keep alive the possibility of peace.
Others, including France, are expected to follow suit at the UN General Assembly this week.
Total war is not the answer, because it's just killing the credibility of Israel.
The Palestinian delegation is cautiously optimistic.
These countries are determined to take steps not to allow this tragic situation to continue and to make it the destiny of the Palestinians and the Israeli Jews to continue fighting forever. What we need is peace.
Still, the Israeli Prime Minister is telling Canada and others there will be no Palestinian state.
Hamas already today is rejoicing. Supporters of Hamas and the streets of Canada are very happy.
And Israel's ambassador to Canada is condemning Carney's decision, saying it rewards terrorists.
No one in Israel thinks today that a two-state solution is viable. So if you sign a paper here in Ottawa or in Australia or wherever, it does not make a change for us. We are not ready for it. We are not ready for a two-state solution.
While this Western recognition is a symbolic victory for the Palestinians, it does little to change the reality on the ground. And the Americans, they're opposed to all of it. JP Tasker, CBC News, Ottawa.
And Sasha Petrusik joins us now from Jerusalem. Sasha, you spent the day in the occupied West Bank. What did Palestinians there tell you?
Feelings in Ramallah are really swinging between optimism and skepticism. Many Palestinians say recognition won't help resolve differences with Israel, but others say it brings a little light into two very dark years.
Oh, for sure it does make a difference, because we need to have two-state solutions. That's it, it's over. You have to. Don't forget, it's our right to have our country.
Now, these people are in the occupied West Bank, where there's been a lot of violence between Palestinians and Israeli settlers and much military action. But it's nothing like what Palestinians in Gaza have endured. Thousands are still seeking a safe space amidst more war. Many aren't impressed. They recognize Palestine, yet they keep sending weapons to Israel, says this man. Still, the Palestinian Authority, which runs much of the occupied West Bank, is more optimistic.
This recognition is certainly not symbolic. It is a practical, tangible, irreversible step that countries must take if they are invested in preserving the two-state solution.
The reaction from Israel's leadership was far less optimistic.
There was a tougher, more threatening message from Israel, where settler leaders are demanding immediate annexation of the West Bank instead of the creeping takeover underway now. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says he'll keep expanding Jewish settlements and promises a full response when he gets back from the UN and meetings with U.S. President Donald Trump this week.
Thanks for this. That's Sasha Petrusik in Jerusalem. And Evan Dyer is in New York outside the United Nations, where the Prime Minister will also be meeting with world leaders. Evan, take us through what we expect to see in the coming days.
Well, the main event, Erica, at this year's UN General Assembly will be a meeting of leaders on Monday afternoon called the Conference for the Peaceful Settlement of the Question of Palestine and the Implementation of the Two-State Solution. And that's going to bring together the leaders of the countries that already recognize Palestine, such as Britain and Canada, with others such as France, who are expected to recognize during this General Assembly, possibly even announcing those recognitions during that meeting.
So Canada made the move now, but the list of countries recognizing Palestine has been growing for some time.
Yeah, that's right. And actually, this is the second wave of recognitions to take place during the Gaza war. Last spring, we saw Ireland, Norway, and Spain all recognize Palestine together on the same day. But less noticed were some other countries that did so as well. Slovenia did it separately, much of the Caribbean. We now expect to see about 5 more European nations join that trend. And another country that may join is New Zealand, which would leave the US as the only major speaking English country that doesn't recognize a Palestinian state. But the Trump administration remains doggedly opposed to recognition, so opposed, in fact, that they refuse to issue visas for the Palestinian delegation to this General Assembly. That ban violates the treaty the US government signed 80 years ago when the United Nations agreed to put its headquarters in New York. The Palestinian leader, Mahmoud Abbas, is going to address the Assembly anyway. He'll do it virtually.
Okay, thanks for this, Evan. Evan Dyer in New York.